Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had every little old lady that sells churros locos and tosti locos out of her pad, smash the subscribe button. Go ahead and have her smash you right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to everybody that blessed me on yesterday's live. El Diablo Gringo, Michigan Wolverines, Quinzon a few times, Miklo, and if I forgot you, please let me know in the comment section. I'm going to pin you to the top. Also, shout out to all the patrons. I love you. You have no idea how much of a huge impact you make on this channel. Stay tuned for your well-deserved shout out at the end. This episode right here, man, this is going to be a recap. A recap of what, Hector? A recap of 2024, since it's Happy New Year today. Not so much. A recap of life, a recap of seasons, a recap of experiences. All right. Jesus once said, man, I ask for a lot of the people that follow me, and I ask very little from the people that don't, right? So I'm going to change gears a little bit. For all of you guys that have followed me thus far, God, Hector, you claiming to be Jesus? No, listen up. I am claiming to be a messenger of some sorts. You can put the pieces together, right? There's no way I experienced what freaking hair. There's a freaking hair on my hat. Despensa en latir. Oh, man, this is going to bug me. There's a freaking hair on my hat. Oh, if you're new to this channel, I don't edit anything. It's just straight from the hip and from the mind and from the heart. This message is to those that have followed me from the start, middle journey, and recently. God put me in some very, very, very horrible predicaments, right? The war in Iraq. Now you put the politics aside, or even if you want to look at the politics, what did you gather from that, Hector? 40 years old man now. That war is ugly. War is hell, as once said. Seen the worst of humanity. I've seen the best of humanity. I've seen John 15:13 for what it was. Greater love hath no man than a man lay down his life for his brother. Edgar Daclan, Joselito Villanueva. I've seen rage. I partook in rage, anger, resentment, violence. I'm gonna put a capital V on the violence, man. You don't hear me talk much about my participation in violence. But yeah, I'm not an innocent party in any of this. I definitely partook in some activities. In CDCR and in the war. What about CDCR, Hector? 3 minutes into it, man. It seems like the majority of your viewers can relate more to CDCR. Right? The California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. What did you gather from that experience in your 16-year career? Starting in 2006, November 27, 2006, Stockton Level 4 Academy. December 1, 2022. What did you learn? What did you learn as a man of God? What do you mean, man of God? Hector, you were fucking other people's wives. Motherfucker, listen to my story. This is my story, this is your fucking story. Fucking assholes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm not a saint. I have screwed up royally, okay? But I no longer partake in those activities. And I have not for years. I don't even drink alcohol, right? Now that I got you guys all buttered up, what did I learn in my 16-year career from sitting back and watching and from participating? Well, I learned that bad guys and criminals are not always the ones you think they are. For instance, when I say there's a lot of criminals in the California Department of Corrections, one might think, oh, it's the inmates wearing blue. No. Yeah, they're there. That's obvious. But what about the criminals wearing suits, right? What about the criminals wearing double bars, captain bars, stars on their collar? What about those criminals? Criminal acts, breaking the law, which I observed and I've documented. And I have documented all over the place, man. So even if you get me, it's still out there. What about those criminals, right? The ones that, the sheep that hide in wolf's clothing, or the wolves that hide in sheep clothing, however that saying goes. How about them? How about them apples, right? How about the individuals that assert their power over other individuals, right? Whatever the reason being. Maybe their wife sucks at home. Maybe they hate their life. They hate their job. So who do they take it out on? They take it out on the inmates, right? Take it out on their coworkers. They take it out on misery loves company. What about that? All right. What about the mightier than thou attitude? Oh, Hector talks to inmates. Hector talks to inmates. I'm mightier than that. Motherfucker, you cheat on your wife. You go to Tijuana. You go to fucking Meow Meows. You smash prostitutes in Mexico. Like, you probably do coke on the weekend. I know that for a fact. You probably do coke on the weekend. Now, who the fuck is more mightier than who, motherfuckers? Honestly, I shouldn't even be talking like this. But don't let God send a person like me to show you a fucking message that you should have already known, right? Apparently, nobody got the memo. Apparently, nobody got the memo how to act right, with or without perceived power. Hector, why do you keep saying the terminology perceived power? Why don't you just say power? Because I've sat back and I watch when you give somebody sergeant stripes. I watch when you give somebody lieutenant bars. They lose their freaking minds. I've seen when people get captain bars, they just become a whole different person. Do they become a different person, or do the true colors really show? 6 minutes into it, man, I think I'm getting my point across, right? Nobody is better than anybody, right? And even if you think you are, you sure don't have the authority to act like it. If you ask me, CDCR, and I have said, is the most toxic environment I've ever been in my life, to include a combat deployment to Iraq where people were legitimately trying to kill me. Legitimately trying to kill me. Ooh, numerous close calls. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for my documentary Grunt, produced by Studio 237, which will air February 1st on a major streaming platform. Whoa. Anyways, so if I got put in the most toxic environment, and as a foot soldier, a CO, sergeant, supervisor, lieutenant, second line supervisor, public information officer, admin job, crisis response team commander, are inmates pain in the asses? Yeah. But that's not what I'm getting at here, right? That's easy. That's freaking easy. What about the corruption? That's what I talk about, the corruption. That corruption is straight from the devil himself, man. Let's look at Jeff McCumber. Why you got to bring Jeff into this? The more I look at this guy's picture, let me look at his picture to refresh my memory. Where am I at? I'm losing my... I look at Jeff McCumber, right? I don't know if you can see my phone. That's good old Jeff right here. You see Jeff. 30 plus years working within the California Department of Corrections. You see him as a secretary. What is he responsible for? 60 murders. Thank God there wasn't 61. I literally was sitting back thinking there's going to be 61. I know it. There wasn't. 60. Under Jeff McCumber. Cesar Hernandez, level 4 GP, killer, escaped under Jeff McCumber, right? So if you see him as secretary, I can only imagine how this dude was as a sergeant. Just a straight weasel, pushover, probably a rat, probably just giving up the game, probably just turncoat, turning on his partners, just selling out his soul. Just disgusting. Broke, busted, can't be trusted. So anyways, man, again, the way I started this episode was that Jesus asked a lot of his followers. And I was sitting down on my couch before that thought entered my brain. Yesterday morning, I planned on making a video and telling you guys that that the ones closest to me, I hold at a high standard, at a high standard, right? My ex-wife, she would always say, "Why do you treat everybody better than you treat me?" You treat you're so nice to everybody else. Thinking like, motherfucker, I ain't married to anybody else, right? Ain't nobody else the mother of my daughter. Ain't nobody else my spouse, right? The ones closest to me are the ones that I hold. Damn, Hector, you crying? No, motherfuckers, I got something in my eye. It's fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, January 1st, 2025. ASO. Oh, damn, Hector, you stay ready, right? I stay ready. Anyways, fuck what I talking about? The ones closest to me, right? I will speak to the COs, the young correctional officers first, that do listen. Thank you. The sergeants that do listen. The lieutenants that do listen. Thank you. I see you. Do not lose your mind. Do not sell your soul. Do the right thing. Follow policy. Follow the law. Follow your heart. And always do the right thing. It's not that freaking hard. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. I didn't think this was going to be a message of hope towards the end. It was more so of setting the standard for what's to come, right? We're tightening it up. We're tightening it up. We're tightening it up, man. We're no longer a loose crew. We got to tighten up our A game, man. We got to tighten up our A game. We're going to take over. We're going to take over, right? And to the inmates, man, I guess I got this platform, right? And again, I think back to religious times, historical times. You had the slaveries, you had the Jews, you had the Samaritans, you had different factions, right? Was one better than the other? That's how you carry yourself as a man. That's how you carry yourself as an individual. I'm getting long-winded. I felt like I needed to say this. I got to go pick up my daughter right now. Not pick her up. My wife's going to go on a hike, early morning hike. I got to go to the pad, watch my daughter, my old pad, like a mandilon. Is it a mandilon or is it a good father? It's a good father. Thank you very much. So I guess it's just a brief message. 2025, I'm going to ask a lot from you guys, right? It's time to turn it up. With that, love you guys. Keep pushing forward. This message was sponsored by the following patrons: Jolene, Justina, Casas, it is what it is, Third Watch Desert Warrior, James Barrera, Deb, Be All You Can Be, Luis, Miguel, The Real Chit, XM Law, MC Counselor, Manuel, Lena, Jeremy, Frank, Roberto, Lilybutt209, all you pedophiles pretend to be gangster, John Wick, Abuelita's Journey, Abuelita's Irma, Rodrigo, keep pushing forward, Giant Manhattan Pizza in Anaheim. Go check them out. 602 me. I don't give a F. 89 made me. You're a long way from Starbucks, homie. Ali, Ramiro de Leon, The Hound, Miss R, Milkers, Danners on my feet, La Primera Play at Your Wrist 209, Theo, A-Rod 310, Chris Lesniak. I don't know. I'm not the regular. Brian the Lone Specialist, Pachanga 209. Darlene from Santa Ana, F your mandates, write me up, VSP Eddie, Sabatino, Earth, Blood, Operator, Adalberto, Mercenary Mindset, Any Reason I Can't Hold You, Fontaine, Dixon, McCrary, Program Time, Carnalito, Treatment Not Time, and Force Fit, My Outdoor Activity, on to page number 2. GG, Brother Matt at stateissuedcollection.com. Shut the F up and make it wink. A la verga 760. Miss Rod, G-Ride, Boat News come out. The Prison Psychologist, Fuerte 84, Zeus, Michigan Wolverines. I have an 8-hour chrono. Put me out 6 self. AWOL like Monty. 1 Bad Yard Battle. Cherokee Cat. The Big Bad Wolf. Raider 62. L. Eli. Gerardo. Rigo SD. Pelon 1205. Who's doing the pipe? Denise. The Real McCoy. JB Smooth. The Pogue in the 6-pack. CO. Call the Sergeant. I need to get my KOPs. Ricardo. Maladjusted. Ragtoss 5.0. Carmine the Pitbull. CJ Zavalza. EOP Whisper. F your 602. Viva Mexico Cabrones. Transgender over transparency. Basically, the whole message for today is do the right thing, because if you're a scoundrel, you will get exposed, period. La Reina, Central Coast Perrito. Shout out to Central Coast Perrito. Again, shout out to Central Coast Perrito. That's my dog. Winston, El Skid, the OG Hobie Cat, Lead with Love, Albert 12, on the dead homies. Lieutenant keeps it 100. Big Uso D. Shout out to Big Uso D and Soul Star Motorcycle Club. J.I. Esquiel, Nova, Linda, the retired CO. Marius, Robert, Chevelle66. Hey girl, pop me up so I can give you some OJT. Christmas is coming. Time to break up with the torta and the homie Rags. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you hit that link in the description below. You're definitely missing out. Happy New Year, guys. Love you. Keep pushing forward.